Okay, so lead quality. This is something that I am quite passionate about. Okay, so solving lead quality. We're in the lead generation space, so this is obviously something that we deal with every day. And when we first tried to solve it for us, we completely broke our business. And recently I've started to come up with a much better understanding about what this game actually is. And to simplify it, I'll break lead quality into two components. There's what I call, for lack of a better word, objective lead quality. Is this a business that I could help if they wanted my help? For example, if I have a solution for plumbing companies and I have a call with a plumbing company, then that is a company I could help if they wanted my help. Now, if I have a call with a roofing company that my product doesn't work for, then I can't help them. So I'm going to call that objective lead quality. And if you have objective lead quality issues, then you need to refine your lead list, okay? But the far more common, more complex, and what people actually mean when they're saying they have lead quality issues is that the person did not want to buy my stuff at the price or for what I was asking, okay? And this is when the prospect says, hey, I need to think about it, it was too expensive, I already do that. All these sorts of things come up when the prospect doesn't want to buy your stuff, okay? And typically, and I think this is because people haven't really thought about it, you try and solve it by saying, okay, well, I'll just build a lead list of people that do want to buy my stuff. But those people don't exist, right? Like, if there was a list of people out there that you could help and they wanted to buy your stuff, they're your inbound leads. They're already there buying your stuff or your competitors' stuff. So how do you solve this? And I just want one caveat here. If you have a product and by telling somebody what you do, they buy it, then this doesn't apply to you. And you don't have a lead generation problem. So this is not really for you. This is for those of you who, you know that if you say, hey, we do marketing for roofers, a roofer's not going to be like, oh, okay, I'll pay you your $4,000 a month retainer. So how do you actually solve this? So you need to figure out how to take someone that you can help who doesn't want to buy your stuff to wanting to buy your stuff, okay? And that is complex and difficult, and we have solved this through a sales process that involves market research. And that market research figures out what the market actually wants to buy, and then you'll reposition your offer to be something they actually want to buy. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to jump into my computer and I'm going to just share with you how we do that. And before I get there, so when we first did this for us, we tried to solve it by filtering on our email copy, essentially saying, hey, this is what we do, this is the price that we do it, and nobody was interested at all. So what we had to do was write something compelling on the email and then build rapport through the sales process to sell them our stuff, because our stuff was valuable to them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump into my computer and show you how we have solved this, and then hopefully you can do it for yourself. So to recap, we're trying to solve lead quality in the outbound sense. And the framework that I like to use is I like to break it down into two components. So you've got objective lead quality, and I know these names aren't perfect. I've just made them up as my framework to think this through. So essentially we're saying, could you help this person if they wanted your help? So the reason why we're framing it that way is because if you can't help the person, then they shouldn't be on the lead list. They shouldn't be someone that you reach out to. So for example, if you help roofing companies and they are a moving company, right? You're saying, hey, I can't help them because my program's for roofing companies, okay? So the second part of this, which is the crux of solving outbound, is does this person want to buy my stuff at the price I want to sell it for, right? So this is the misconception about outbound, and this ties into offer market fit or product market fit. If you just told your prospects what you do, are they going to buy your stuff? And the answer is no, they're not for most people, right? And so that is the game of solving lead quality. It isn't that you're talking to people that you can't help. It's that you talk to them and they're not interested in buying your stuff, okay? So how do you actually solve this? So the misconception here is, okay, well, we'll just go after people that want to buy my stuff. Like, brother, they don't exist. If they did exist, they would come to you inbound. Those are inbound leads. So you have to figure out a way to take someone who you can help but doesn't want to buy your stuff and figure out how to either reposition your stuff so that they want to buy it, change the price point to reverse the risk, or tweak your sales process so that you don't fall into any traps so that you can pitch your product in a way that's more compelling. So how do you actually do this in practice? So just a note here. We work with businesses that do have complete offer market fit, where all they need to say on the phone is, hey, this is what we do. And people are like, okay, great. What's the next steps? Right? So they don't need to go through this process because they already have offer market fit. And literally all they need to do is put what they do in front of people. Lots of people have this idea that that is their business, and then they do some sort of outbound and it doesn't work. And they're like, oh, well, the outbound must have been wrong. Typically, the outbound is not wrong. It's that people actually don't want to buy your stuff at the way that you're positioning it and pitching it and putting the price in there. So how do you actually go about solving this? So the first step is you have to follow an outbound sales process, because if you're used to getting leads inbound through referrals or through your website, and you have a form that vets people, etc., then the process that you use to sell will not work for outbound. And if you try and use it and it doesn't work, you're going to have no way to diagnose how to tweak it to make it better. So that is the key about using an outbound sales process, is it is built to do discovery. It's built to figure out what these people actually want, why they don't want to buy your stuff. And so you can start to tweak that process. So we always pitch and say you have to use a discovery call to a demo call. And the goal of the discovery call is to get the prospect talking, figuring out what's going on with their business, what problems they're running into, etc., etc. And again, the goal of the demo call is to walk them through a set of slides and then at the end pitch what you do. The reason why it's built this way is because both have components of them which you can change over time. Okay, so I've just put in here, do not think you're too good to do this. Just follow an outbound sales strategy. Otherwise, you'll misdiagnose what the problem is. So step 2. So record all your discovery calls following the sales process. Record all your demos following the sales process. Then transcribe all of them and put them into, and we use Rev.ai to transcribe them. So some sort of tool, AI tool that transcribes them. Then download them all and run them through, we just use ChatGPT at the moment, but whatever your AI of choice is, and figure out what you're saying that's turning the market off. Are you revealing the mechanism too early and they're like, oh, I've already done something like that, I'm not interested? Are you talking way too early about what you do and not getting them to talk, right? So you can download all these and you want to say, 1, how good are we at following the sales process? Okay, once you're good at following the sales process, then you're going to say, what did we say that turned the market off? What opportunities are there? What can I do better next time? And that will start to self-tighten the discovery call and self-tighten the demo call. And this is step 3. You're going to tweak your discovery call and your demo call to better match what the market actually wants. Okay? Once you do this, they don't want my help will stop being a problem with lead quality. Because what you're essentially doing is figuring out how you can position what you do in a way where they do want your help at the price point that you offer. So hopefully this makes sense. I'll do my best to answer any questions that are left down below, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.